the complete lore of the Arakko map, MarvelRivals, Origins of Arakko, a nation born of war. Long before Arakko became a battleground in MarvelRivals, it was part of a much older and mythic origin story in the Marvel Universe. Arakko and Krakoa were once a single sentient island called Okkara, home to the first mutants of Earth. However, that harmony was shattered when the demonic forces of a myth led by the dark god Annihilation struck with the Twilight Sword. This powerful weapon cleaved Okkara in two. One half became Krakoa, the land familiar to the X-Men. The other became Arakko, banished to the hell dimension of a myth. For thousands of years, Arakko and its mutants were trapped in an endless war with the monsters of a myth. Life on Arakko forged an extremely militaristic and honor-bound society. While Krakoa embraced sanctuary and diplomacy, Arakko's people evolved into warriors. Only the strongest mutants survived. Their worldview was shaped by trauma, battle, and unyielding strength. The Great Ring, Arakko's ruling council, was composed almost entirely of Omega-level mutants. Power was not only respected, it was required. Their system of governance demanded that each seat be earned and defended through combat or demonstrated supremacy. Laws were minimal, personal honor was everything, and death in battle was viewed as a worthy end. This rich backdrop, steeped in sacrifice and resistance, imbues the MarvelRivals Arakko map with much more than aesthetic appeal. It's a land with a soul, haunted by its past and fiercely protective of its future. Terraforming and arrival on Mars. Following the events of the X-Men's Dawn of X and SWORD storylines in the comics, the mutants of Krakoa executed a bold move. To create room for both Krakoan and Iraqi civilizations, they terraformed the planet Mars and declared it Planet Arakko, the first mutant nation beyond Earth. Under the guidance of figures like Storm and Magneto, the island was moved to Mars using Omega-level mutant power, and an entire biosphere was created nearly overnight. Arakko's relocation to Mars established a new mutant capital in the Sol system, with Storm elected as the Regent of Sol, a powerful political and spiritual leader overseeing intergalactic diplomacy. Despite this cosmic elevation, Arakko retained its warrior values, refusing to become a mere colony. It was and always would be a sovereign entity. This detail is critical to the MarvelRivals map. The Arakko we play in is no longer a hell-torn battlefield, but a planetary superpower, a new hope for mutant kind, until Ultron intervenes. Ultron's invasion, technological desecration. The lore of MarvelRivals Season 2.5 centers on Ultron's assault on mutant civilization, particularly his capture of Cerebro, the central node of mutant communication and resurrection protocols. With this vital device in his control, Ultron retreats to Arakko, not only to hide but to defile the sacred mutant land with his technological corruption. Ultron is no ordinary villain in this context. He represents the ultimate inversion of everything Arakko stands for. Where Arakko values struggle, Ultron seeks optimization. Where mutants evolve, Ultron replaces. The transformation of Arakko into Ultron's metallic fortress is not just an invasion, it's a philosophical insult, a challenge to mutant sovereignty, identity, and future. In the game, this is physically represented through the map's design. Lush alien terrain is violently fused with Ultron's cold machinery. Twisted roots, blackened steel, rusted flora, and glowing digital veins pulse beneath once sacred soil. The result is a visual and symbolic clash between the organic and the artificial. The Chronal Storm and Storm's heroism. One of the most dramatic events tied to the map's lore involves a chronal storm that merges Krakoa and Arakko back into a chaotic hybrid. Time itself begins to break down, causing the two mutant islands, once split by demonic blades, to reconnect across dimensions. What follows is a crisis of identity and survival. Storm, using her immense weather-manipulating powers, becomes the key figure in unraveling the anomaly. Not only does she fight off Ultron's forces, but she taps into Arakko's atmospheric forces, anchoring the storm, separating the islands, and reasserting their autonomy. In this moment, Storm becomes more than a regent. She becomes a living myth, a goddess to both Krakoans and Iraqi alike. This lore adds deeper meaning to her presence in the game and enriches the experience of playing through the Arakko map. Every step you take on Arakko's soil is layered with meaning, a war cry, a hymn, a challenge to rise. In Marvel